What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another San Diego Prep Insider. I am Christian Pedersen. Around the room, we've got Tommy Morris, David Ring, Bodie Da Silva.
What am I supposed to have when you say my name?
I don't know. We've look. This is what 3 shows back in person together after the 33 shows apart.
Of 5 years apart.
Dude, I'll say this,
Forever.
Dave. Our last show prior to the pandemic was you.
Yeah.
In here doing some dingers. And then we did a couple of rain delay segments because it was raining those first 2 days. And the rain was more important than COVID at the time. And we all messed up on which one was going to wreck the season more. And now we're back. And okay, so the bits have not all the way worked out. For those of you that are new to the show, I will remind everybody that David Ring is here on behalf of David Ring Player Development. He is the greatest hitting coach in San Diego and someone that you absolutely need to check out. I don't want to get into turf wars with LA or any other sections like that.
Well, no, it's Dodgers weekend, so we can get into turf wars.
Fair enough. Bodie Da Silva is here from Scorebook Live. They are the official digital content provider of the entire state, but we only singularly care about Bodie and his contribution to the San Diego CIF section and the fact that he tweets. His account is at SD Preps. He tweets more baseball information out than I think many of the pro baseball people tweet about pro baseball. Like, I don't think that Kirkchin provides nearly the value buy on Twitter that you provide at SD Preps.
I wouldn't know what's going on in San Diego if I didn't have Bodie's account.
I doubt that is such a lie. You are so dialed in.
You guys said I'm the best in San Diego.
Your House of Highlights.
So
you get more clips than anybody else
Bodie's
sent
the
to
best.
you. You guys play well. One is text, one is visual.
Can I talk about Dave real quick? I have noticed you've gotten way more artistic too with the Instagram. Like sometimes it's like the full drill, and sometimes it's just the contact. It's a repeat of the contact. Right? You know what I mean? Like you're mixing it up. I like it.
Seriously, those ones get a lot of views. That's why
People love that.
people love the like fast and hitting the ball hard.
People dig that.
It's just the noise. Just listen to that noise on repeat over and over and over. Ding! Oh no, it's the wood bat with the wood bat.
Oh,
yeah, that's
even better.
That's the money sound.
Oh, no, you know what? Let's put that on the poll at SD Prep Insider. Which bat provides a more money sound for a home run, aluminum or wood?
Has to. If aluminum wins,
Because I will throw this out there with the caveat that some of the, and maybe this dates me a little bit, but some of the older, the Black Magic type, like there was a generation of aluminum bats that provided such an unworldly when you would tee off on it, that it felt like...
Which are all illegal now.
Yeah, they're all legal now, but I would say that there is a generation of people that will answer that question on metal bats.
I get asked that all the time. What bat should I swing, Coach? The one that doesn't make the most noise. the one that's not so pingy. That's my suggestion.
Well, you're just no fun. What do you know about baseball? You post drills that people mock.
I do love this too. Like, oh, new kid on the block trying a new drill. I'm thinking I have like 2 followers. His avatar's like Babe Ruth. Like, how did he even find this page?
Yeah, they're coming at me from all directions, guys.
That's what happens when you get popular, man.
Right?
For those of you that are new to the show, also, I'll give you a reminder how it kind of works is we're going to give out some game balls to all the sports around the town. Dave's going to talk about some of his dingers and walk-offs. Those are the home runs and the great endings from the week. We will have a special guest joining us today, Ethan Gorson from Point Loma Baseball. He is committed to go play at the University of Arizona. And then finally, we will finish off with some predictions and previews of games in depth. No more football. And that is saying something given the fact that I am resisting the chance to talk about La Jolla playing Helix. And that is all we will say about that on this show.
Yeah, you don't get to say that every day.
Nope. But that tells you how much we are into our baseball this season, as we really want to get to some baseball games. Guys, let's go through first round of game balls as our intern Kingsley potentially decapitates Dave Ring. We have an intern that's a dog. It's the perils of working from home sometimes. Tommy, you want to give us your first game ball, and I will get Ethan Gorson all dialed in?
Yeah, my first game ball. So I'm again, like last week, I stuck with the girls' sports. I'm gonna do that again. This week it's gonna be softball. I want to just mention the stat leaders, so I'm gonna go through them really quick. My first game ball goes to the stolen base leader right now. It's Susanna Pate from Coronado with 11 stolen bases in 8 games. That is speed on the base paths for Coronado.
Dave Ring, your first game ball.
Impressive. I'm bleeding. No, I'm just kidding. Dog is attacking.
Yeah, the work dog is...
A big win for La Jolla Country Day over St. Augustine. Peyton Wallace went 6 2/3 to earn the win, and Michael McClellan comes in to get the save. Another guy, Ben Pajak, another game with 2 RBIs. This guy's going off this year. Interesting follow for me. He wasn't on my radar to start the year, but really hitting the ball hard.
How many people you got on your radar at the start of the year?
I mean, most of the guys are, you hear about a lot of guys in general to start the year, but some guys just sneak past, and he was one of the guys I had no idea about. But
I think we're going to see a lot of it this year because there was no junior year for these guys essentially.
Right.
So that'll be the year where it's most people's breakout year, and so
Totally.
the guys are seniors now. It's like, oh, where were they? It's like, oh yeah, they literally didn't play.
Yeah,
So-
I've looked back and you see some of these guys had 6, 7, maybe 8 games, and they put up good numbers, but it ended abruptly, and you didn't hear about it from then on. So they're just kind of continuing what they did.
Can I also reiterate my claim that I feel like I've said a lot lately is we're a baseball city. I just was trying to prove that the preseason, Bodie, because you do these preseason top 50s, top 25s, top whatever it is, top 10 at this position, that at position. You did this the entire pandemic. I feel like it's a lot easier to come up with top 100 high school baseball players and softball players than it is top 25 of any other sport necessarily.
Yeah, I would agree.
Other than maybe lacrosse, because Torrey Pines has somehow the best 50 lacrosse players in the world at all given times. Look forward to, I'm going to get to meet Dewey Egan later this week. That's going to be a lot of fun. Bodie, your first game ball, and then we will have our special guest joining us for a quick conversation.
Yeah, I'll go back to a game on Monday. La Costa Canyon beat Poway 14-0. Landon Elliott from La Costa Canyon threw a no-hitter, struck out 12. So several no-hitters so far. Love seeing that.
Seriously, though, Joe Musgrove trying to be overshadowed. Like, his try to legit do their best Joe Musgrove impression or overshadowing of him. We will have Ethan Gorson joining us allegedly at 9:15. He has the Zoom link. We will see if I sent this
I've been
to the
saying
right
that a
number.
lot, though, this year. You know how fortunate we are as San Diegans to now be watching such good pitching, such good hitting. I wouldn't be surprised if this kind of gives the players in San Diego an extra push and really helps develop, whether it's a hitter or a pitcher. Just watching guys like this on the mound, like you said, that's inspirational for sure. So,
Dave, your second game ball, or Tommy, your second game ball, please.
Can I split one? Can I give
Dude, you don't even. I don't think you have to add.
Well,
you
this
don't have
actually
to
makes
ask
sense
rules permission
because
anymore.
these two girls both hit home runs so hard that it splits the ball in half. So we have to split the ball in half for. We've got Haley Mulligan from El Cap and Ariel Lopez Fita from Mission Hills, both with 4 home runs apiece. In 6 games and 7 games respectively. Look, these are in again 25 at bats and 23 at bats, 4 home runs already for each. Pretty impressive.
that's good. 3 wins for Patrick Henry's Ryan Ellis this year. I'll give him a game ball. He's really leading the team to a strong record. He's got a 1.78 ERA, along with freshmen Eddie Gomez and Jeremiah Vargas, who are a couple hitters that are providing a huge spark for these guys. They had some injuries to some guys in the beginning of the year, so these freshmen are having to step up, and from what I can see, they're doing a really, really good job of driving in runs, getting on base. So Patrick Henry's off to a good start this year.
Yeah, going back to another game earlier this week, Grossmont beat Cathedral Catholic 1-0 in 9 innings. Evan Vassalou with a walk-off single. Grossmont's a team that pretty much every game so far has been super high scoring, so showing that they can win that one that goes extra innings, only run on the board. That's a team that I expect to compete for Open Division end of the season.
We're having playoffs, yes, on everything. You have not heard otherwise. You've
they're-
all confirmed, yes, that we
yeah.
are season 2 playoffs.
Yeah, I know that Southern and City have just made their announcements, but ours been on the calendar, and look forward to having it.
Dude, I am so excited for that. This is going to be such a great moment to have. We're going to have, I think it's 48 championships.
Yeah,
in
and so many of them are right
31
when
days.
kids are graduating and right at middle of June. It's going to be a great time.
And I think it's just going to be hype because I can only imagine that there's going to be a couple of schools that come out of nowhere to take a snatch at grabbing some titles. Tommy, third game ball, please.
All right, this girl's having an impressive season for a sophomore from La Jolla. It's Emmy Cardenas. So she's leading the city in strikeouts. Okay, but she also is hitting .576 with 3 home runs. Her ERA is 1.78, and again, I forgot to mention 76 strikeouts in 9 games. That's crazy. And I know in softball, I don't know how many she's started. I know she's played 9 games. I think in softball, you pretty much start all of them, right? Maybe you know better than me.
I'd say a lot of them. I don't know
Majority?
if all
The vast
of them, but-
majority of times, if you are a pitcher, you are a starter who tries to go the whole game in softball.
And then you can pitch It's 5 days in a row.
Yeah, second game of a doubleheader, throw you right back out.
Easily one of the most impressive just athletic performances I've ever seen was the Ramona versus Cathedral Catholic softball girls finals, the Open Division a couple years ago. That was Megan Ferrimo's senior year for Cathedral Catholic, and it went into like 11 or 12 innings, and both the starting pitchers were still out there, absolutely firing gas. Like they were firing cheddar, like major league level into the 11th inning, because every inning was like strikeout, 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 strikeout. I thought at some point the pitch count would have to total up, but no, they're just still killing it. I'm like, okay, fine. You know what? I don't know how you have this in you, but good on you. That's amazing. Tommy, your next game ball while we filibuster, please.
My next game ball. So I keep unlocking, or I keep locking my phone and putting it down because I feel like I'm being rude, but I keep forgetting my notes are on here. So me locking my phone is actually preventing us from doing what we're supposed to be doing here. So there's been 2 no-hitters so far this year, and both of them have been let me make sure this is right, because sometimes these coaches, you know what I'm talking about?
I may have another one for you. Okay. I believe there's been 3.
Were they both Yosina Bolanos?
We're talking baseball, right?
No, I'm talking softball.
Oh, okay. Then sorry.
From Kearney, Yosina Bolanos, 2 no-hitters already so far in the season. That is quite the accomplishment. I mean, two in a lifetime is pretty good. 2 more here.
Speaking of pitching for baseball, there's a pitcher by the name of Thomas Ringer. No, I'm not related. Thomas Ringer, Mount Miguel. He has 51 Ks so far this season. So that would mean that if the guy's got 4 or 5 starts, he's K'ing 10 people per start. So congrats to you on the hot start, man.
That's insane. That's a really
it's a huge number. Colin Rothermel, just to give you an idea, has 26 strikeouts. So this guy has twice as many strikeouts as.
Is Colin Rothermel best pitcher in San Diego this year? Like, or is perceived
so
to be the best?
I mean, I've gotten to see him, I think, 2 games so far, and it's tough for me to pick anyone better.
Because we're now into the point where it's no longer a novelty to have spring teams starting their season. Everybody, like some of these baseball teams are like almost 10 games in.
Yeah. No, Rancho Bernardo's been super impressive, and I think he used this time away to really improve, and Rancho Bernardo looks really strong. So
there's a pitcher by the name of Ethan Lizama on Eastlake who he has a really good chance too. He looks really, really good on the mound. Can hit also. He's got a 0.0000 ERA. I would say he's got a really good shot to be up there with Colin. Colin's got a .54 ERA, so I mean, what does that even really mean? We're letting up half a run every 9 innings. So yeah, there's some good pitching in San Diego this year for sure.
My next game ball, I'll go to Grant MacArthur. He's a junior from Granite Hills who these last 2 games really on fire. His last 6 at-bats, he has 3 home runs and a double, hitting .485 on the season. So just another talented underclassman to watch on his way up.
Tommy, your final game ball, please.
I'm going to give one to a freshman from Granite Hills. It's Sophia Mujica, who's leading the county in slugging percentage. She played in 7 games, already 10 hits, batting average of .588, and she has 3 home runs. 3 home runs, a triple, 2 doubles. That is, again, so in 10 hits, 6 of them have been extra base hits.
That seems decent.
Pretty good. Not bad for a freshman.
Yeah, can you imagine 3 years from now?
Dude, that's the crazy thing on some of these people is that we feel like, oh my gosh, we've been talking about Marcelo Mayer for so long. And we've been hearing about
it. Apparently not enough.
But we have on some of this is that like they've been doing this since freshman year, and some of this it's like, we thought we have these one line throwaways. Oh, isn't that dope that a freshman does this? But then it winds up being that, oh my gosh, that freshman is going to be a top 5 pick in the Major League Baseball draft.
Well, speaking of which, shout out Mickey Moniak getting called up to the show today.
Gotta love it.
3 San Diego guys got called up. Garrett Stubbs, Torrey Pines. Also got called up the same week.
Yeah, and then Padres taking on the Pirates, and they got 3 San Diego guys. So. Love to see it.
Dude, we run the world, man. We easily run the world.
I got to throw my last game ball out to Sage Creek, man. They beat San Marcos 4-3. An RBI single broke a 3-3 tie. I mean, I would say San Marcos is by far one of the strongest teams in San Diego, and Sage Creek is proving that their record matches how good they are. And so definitely have to throw out a game ball to them. for the success so far.
That was a super impressive win. I'd seen Sage Creek had a really good strength of schedule, but to go and beat a team like San Marcos that at this point I think is top 5, if not higher, that'll do a lot for them. I'm going to give my last game ball on the football side. Major Givens, Steel Canyon running back, only a sophomore, against Grossmont, carried 36 times for 252 yards and 2 touchdowns. So despite different guys transferring in the offseason, looks like Steel Canyon's got their next running back.
I don't know what to make of football anymore this year.
Yeah,
honestly,
we'll see you in 3 months.
Yeah, it just some of these people are going to be good. Some of these people are going to be the same. Some I don't know. There was definitely some noteworthy football news to talk about during the week, and I thought that that's the perfect embodiment of what's been going on anyway. It's just been an overly toxic season of on and off the field stuff going on, and this latest incident from Cathedral Catholic is a great thing in the end where the school has an opportunity and embraces it to come out and say that this is racist and be actually responsible and taking a positive step publicly. But the fact that we're even getting to this point and then having threads on Twitter that are revolving around questioning whether or not the kid, did he really understand the context of any of it? Like, no, there should be no apologies. There should be no anything other than this was blatantly wrong and is not tolerated. And instead it's debates and it's conversation that just end up being so toxic. And
No, I was just going to say, I know there was a lot of speculation over, where did he get the shirt? Did he make the shirt? It doesn't matter. It's an inappropriate thing to do. It's not, there's no other way you can possibly take that. And I don't know if the people on campus saw it at the time. I don't know if it was something that was only seen on social media. I don't know if he wore it all day at school and then, or if he just put it on for the picture or whatever. But no matter what, it's inappropriate, shouldn't be done, and something needs to be done about it. And I'm sure it will.
all right, we are now joined.
Hey, buddy.
We are now joined by Point Loma's Ethan Gorson. He can't hear us yet. Can you hear us?
He can hear. We can't hear him. Is the problem.
You guys can't hear him.
No.
That means that.
Now we can. Nope. Can we?
Can you try now? Damn it.
I like
Classic.
the mustache is nice, bro.
Where is he coming out of?
I
feel like I hear him somewhere.
I hear it. I hear it in the distance. I feel like
Ethan, can you say something again?
it feels like it's coming from a computer.
That would have been a
That
good
one.
time for Tommy to do his
Oh,
talk.
Tommy, you want to solve race
Oh.
relations in San Diego?
Would you show you this now? Oh, what just happened? There we
All
go.
right.
That'll work.
Apologize for that, Ethan. Thank you very much for being on the show with us. This will get edited up cleaner. I said, no, should we leave this in or no?
I don't know. Who cares?
Exactly. Ethan, thanks for being on with us, man. We got a ton that we want to talk with you about, but I guess let's just go ahead and start with pretty good season for you so far. How does it feel to be back out there?
It's real nice to be back out there. Long time coming. Nice to finally be able to get back on the field last year. Us winning 7 of our first 8 games and then having to cut it short and saying we're done. But it's nice to be back out there this year, and we're looking good again, so can't complain.
Ethan, what if you don't mind, while we filibuster while our intern attacks us here underneath the table. Absolutely the worst total appearance
Sharp teeth.
Of an interview that we've ever had. Ethan, talk to us a little bit about your decision to sign with the University of Arizona and what that was for you.
Yeah, I signed pretty early going into sophomore year. Well, freshman summer going into sophomore year. But, I mean, I think Arizona's just every hitter's dream. Hit for average, hit for extra base hits, hit for power, hit OPS. They lead the country, or if not leading the country, top 5 in almost every hitting statistic every year. Seems like Jay Johnson over there has figured out the scheme of hitting, and I don't know why I wouldn't want to be a part of it. So it was pretty easy for me.
I feel like they've got a pretty good pipeline from San Diego kids into there. Did any of them? I mean, I don't know what recruiting was like for you with COVID and everything, but were you able to see those kids, talk to those kids, and figure out what it's like transitioning from San Diego to Tucson?
Yeah, when I took my official visit, probably right around a year and a half ago, I got to talk to a lot of them and a lot of good stuff. So definitely made me feel more comfortable with my decision there, having not toured the campus before I committed there. So
I'll jump in and say two of my absolute favorite San Diego high school baseball alums are Arizona guys. Randy Absher, who's a crazy person from Otay Ranch. If any of you remember, like,
is he still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
Dude, his was easily one of the funniest interviews I've ever done in my entire life.
On that
where
he
would talk about. He would say, like, oh, we don't do snowflakes, we do whole icebergs. I'm like, okay, man, this is the definition of a lefty pitcher that you want on your team. He's just nuts. He's crazy, and he's weird, and he's different. And Jacob Bloss from San Marcos.
And you're forgetting one more that I know you're a fan of.
Oh, Mac Bingham, that's true. Mac Bingham is another worldly person. That's another whole show together. But Ethan, were you able to visit Arizona before you committed? Like, had you been out to the campus? Because this is one of my favorite questions to ask kids that have committed in the last year as to whether or not they've actually visited their school.
When I committed there, I had not, but I visited it a couple times since.
Ethan, looking so far, or just around the county, it seems like the home run numbers are up for everyone. You guys have 10 as a team. Is there anything you've seen particular that the ball's just flying this year, or what is it?
I'm not really sure. I don't know what other teams are doing, but I know we put a lot of work in on hitting on our side. So at our practice, big hitting. So for us, it's not a surprise, but I don't really know what's going on around the rest of the county.
It's always fun hitting at Point Loma, right? I mean, for you.
I mean, if you're a righty, yeah.
Yeah. You're a righty. What's it like being a lefty hitting at Point Loma where the ball kind of doesn't fly as well to right? It flies a little more to left. Do you have an approach change? Do you do anything different as far as like playing to the field's dimensions? How do you deal with that?
I'm not going to change my whole hitting approach based off like how the ball's flying that way. I mean, I'm not looking to just hit a home run every at bat, so I'm not trying to just go pull side home run. If I get one elevated to left side, usually it might go, but still big time triples play. So a lot of triples, a lot of extra base hits there, even if you get it to the right side. So.
Lefties, but what is your favorite away stadium to play at, given the way your hitting style?
Favorite away stadium to play at? I don't know. There's a lot of
short porches out there, right?
Yeah.
Must be San Diego High.
I've never played at San Diego High, so
300-foot right center fence.
Into the freeway.
I'm gonna have to go with Steel Canyon.
Okay. Ball flies there. That's a good spot.
Ball flies there. I've only played there a couple times, but I've had a pretty good couple games there while I played there.
Dave, you bring up an interesting point, though, that I feel like maybe playing at San Diego High School's field needs to be just a requisite for everybody that plays high school baseball ever in San Diego, because it is a huge flex when you put one out onto the freeway, like literally onto the freeway.
If you've lived in San Diego, you've either played high school
Ethan,
ball there
have you seen this stadium that we're talking about?
I've never even seen San Diego High Field.
If you're driving, like it's like right off the 163, right? Getting on the 5.
It's sandwiched between a couple different freeways right on the edge of Balboa Park. I'll be extra and I'll DM you the Google Maps link to it. But you can look at it. It is something where I think everybody who ever has hit a baseball out of a stadium would maybe look at that and be like, ooh, I would for sure try to pull it, and I'd swing a little bit harder than ever before in my entire life, because holy hell, that looks like a lot of fun.
Right.
Or have some sort of moral compass and be like, I don't want to hit a car that's going 80 miles an hour.
No.
Okay.
No, home runs are greater than any moral compass you could ever have in terms of your entire life.
I've got one more question for E.
I would hope so, because he's our guest right now, and let's ask him questions.
You guys have some pretty strong pitching this year. I'm curious if you think this is probably one of your stronger teams that you've had in the last couple of years, or
for sure. I mean, last year we were real senior heavy and we were good last year, but I think we picked up right where we left off. We're gonna be good again this year, and we got a good young core, so we should be good from years to come, even after I leave after this year. So I think we're in a good position.
Leading the program in a good position.
Damn, that's responsible leadership they're teaching right there, is to have high school seniors thinking about leaving their impact on the program. I like that. I can respect that.
What is kind of weird for baseball players or spring sport players in general is they kind of have that feeling already, because they already know where they're going to go if they're going to go somewhere. So what's it like? This is the first year, because you didn't really have last year anyway, that you've had kind of the security of knowing where you're going next year, so you don't have to worry about that. Has it been more relaxing for you this year than ever?
I had my whole sophomore year where I knew where I was going to, so.
But it's not the same, really.
Are you actually admitted to the University of Arizona now? Like, have you so that now it's a little bit different. Like, you're into college. Has senioritis hit, I guess is Tommy what's saying? Have you been able to focus on baseball more than anything? Is this your first, like, relaxed, fun season you've had in a while?
Nah, I'd say it's the same as the rest of them. I mean, I'm just kind of there to play, have fun with it, not really worried about what else is going on with it. I mean, this year still got to worry about pro scout stuff like that. So
That's dope. That's an awesome sentence. Yeah. No, I know I've got a college scholarship, but I've also got to worry about the pro scouts, baby. I don't know why I threw the baby in there at the end. I just never had to deal with that situation.
It's almost like someone gave him some tips before he came on here what to say because he's such a good kid. But
Did you prep him on this interview?
That's not the case. No.
Oh, I didn't know if that was you backhandedly complimenting yourself or not as a good interview prepper. Ethan, just want to ask you final question. You had a year off to think about this. What maybe was the team that you missed the most in terms of your rivalry? Is it Coronado? Who did you sit out that year being like, damn, I can't wait for that game next year?
For me, it was probably just more looking forward to like playing our like league games either against like Saints or Cathedral since we didn't get to play them last year. And I don't think I've really played them too much in high school in general, maybe a couple times in Winter Bowl. But I was looking forward to good competition there. And we played Coronado this year, big rivalry game. Benches got amped up. But I think I'm most looking forward to like Saints, Cathedral, Madison this year.
Love it. How about that Kian Vu home run the other day?
Oh, man.
The walk-off? Yeah.
Tell us about that a little bit.
I mean, what can you say? It's just absolute no doubter. Just as soon as you hit it, it's gone.
Fun moment.
I'm in one of the videos. I'm just looking at what he's doing. I'm not even looking at the ball. I'm just trying to look at
how impressed were you with his composure? Because I feel like that was something that to have hit it that far and then be able to have that low key of a reaction, that required that required a lot of composure on his part.
I don't know. He called it before he did it. I was on the on-deck circle before I went out there. He goes, you can just stay in the dugout. You don't even need to come out.
That's the information we're looking for.
Wait.
That's the gold we want.
Okay, no, so nobody prepped him on how to do this because that's burying the lead right there. So you were on deck and he looks you like dead in the eyes and says like, get back in the dugout. I've got like, help this become an urban legend for all time. Like, set us the story here.
So we come into the dugout. He's up third that inning. I'm up fourth. He goes, if I'm getting up, you can just stay in the dugout. Like, I'm going yard. You don't even need to come out. Just
that's the story we want.
Be at home plate.
That is awesome, bro.
Dude. Okay, fair enough.
Legend of Kian Vu is growing like immensely right now. We might have to have him on the show because of that.
Yes, we'll have him on the show because of that. Well, Ethan, we really appreciate you giving us some of your time. We apologize for some of the technical inconvenience at the start of this, but thank you so much for being on with us. Any closing notes, guys? You want to ask him before we get out of here? All right, we are good. Ethan, thank you very much for joining us, my man. Really appreciate some of your time. You have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you out at a game soon.
All good. Thanks for having me.
Tommy, I am so sorry that you were bleeding now.
No.
You're talking about my immense professionalism.
100% my fault. 100%
You're talking,
my fault.
no. This is Coach Simons' fault for getting that thing in the first place.
No. Christian, you don't know my relationship with dogs. I like to play.
He aggravated
him. I let him on. But it wasn't the bleeding that disturbed me. It was then he bit a sleeve of my.
When she puts your whole arm in her mouth.
But there was so much mucus from her mouth. That's why.
Yeah, because she sucks on people. Okay, she like legit. Okay. She like.
That was the reaction. The reaction was not to the blood. The reaction was to
you're still bleeding though.
There was like dog bone all over. It was like slobbery dog bone.
I don't mind it. I know puppies like to bite on stuff, and I don't mind it. It's fine. I really don't. I think puppies, they like it when you kind of push them a little bit too. Like she had a good time. That's why she's so upset right now. I don't mind it at all. I really don't.
Dave, you want to get to your dingers?
What are we calling this version of the dingers today?
These are the Slam Diego dingers.
We've got brought to you by serious dingers today.
By seriousdingers.com. All right, Dave. Hit us with them.
This is my Grand Slam only version, really.
And remember, we have sound that I'm trying to seamlessly fit in here, Dave, as we've delivered them. So give just a little breathing room after each one.
Okay. Zach Daudette, Claremont, who committed to Regis College in the offseason. Congrats to you.
It's out of here.
Grand Slam against Steel Canyon in their 8-2 to victory. You should have heard this dugout before his Grand Slam. There's one of the loudest dugouts that I've heard all season. Congrats to you guys, Claremont, on the big victory. Caleb Harris, Santana, Grand Slam against Madison. Score was 4-0, so I think you win the game ball for that game.
It's out of here.
Marcelo Mayer, Grand Slam against Santana. Him, Ben Pajak and Carson Williams are all tied for the home run lead in San Diego with 6 now. That's pretty impressive to have 3 guys with 6 home runs to start the year. I definitely got to mention Kian Vu again, walk-off home run for Point Loma. Noah Barnes, grand slam against Grossmont. Or excuse me, for Grossmont, grand slam against Eastlake in their 10-9 victory. And Michael Villani, El Camino, he has 3 home runs.
It's out of here.
To start the season. That's a big number for him. Keep it going, bro.
Walk-offs as well this week?
None.
No
I
walk-offs.
didn't write down any.
That's okay.
There was a few.
Couple singles.
Couple singles. Guys, any notes before we get to our game balls and then let people get out of here, or our game predictions and then let people get out of here? Nope. Deal. Wonderful. Love a responsive audience. Friday, we're going to look at a couple of baseball games. Like I said, we have switched. So, Dave, we're springing this on you. If you want to jump in on the predictions, you are welcome to. Got a couple of great games up in the North County. We got the Sage Creek Bros taking on the Rancho Bernardo Bros. RB's 12-0 at this point today of us recording this. Sage Creek is an impressive 7-3. They're receiving game balls earlier today. They have a couple of guys that are capable of hitting home runs. RB can pitch. I've set up a lot of these details that are redundant already at this point. Bodie, let's start with you and your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Rancho Bernardo. Not that that's some crazy pick there. Sage Creek, though, having a really good season, really good strength of schedule. Big win against San Marcos, but the way RB's rolling right now, it's tough for me to pick against them.
Dave Ring, you want to jump in on this or no?
I got Sage Creek.
Nice.
I'll go with the RB too, but I do want to give a shout out. I mean, we mention them every year, but it's been pretty amazing how Sage Creek has jumped from a brand new school to being a really good baseball school and good at other sports as well, but just especially baseball. How quickly they've done that is pretty
Coach
amazing.
Madsen there deserves a deeper look at the credit that he deserves, I think. And admittedly, he's doing it with not insufficient talent. Like he's got guys that are naturally coming to that school anyway from day one, like Sam Wesniak, that are Cal commits. So,
All those kids just have good heads on their shoulders, and they're really focused from working with some of the boys. And
I would also say that they look like they're one of the ones that has a more fun, easygoing culture about the program. And I might be fooled. Like, sometimes I get fooled entirely by this on programs.
Maybe that's why it's easy to stay on track, right?
I think that, he creates a disposition around that program that's just very easygoing and allows a lot of those kids to just be loosey-goosey. Because baseball, I think, is one of the few sports where you don't need to be jacked up on adrenaline, serious, like death metal thrasher level intensity to go into. Like football, water polo, a lot of those, absolutely, you need to go to banging. Baseball, I think you can have a dugout that's a bunch of goofy idiots that combine to be an amazing baseball team. I will also go with Sage Creek in an upset there. I don't trust undefeateds in baseball. I trust them in other sports, but not in baseball. Eastlake and Granite Hills, they're both 8-3 at the time of us recording this. They will be squaring off on Friday. Tommy, your thoughts on this game?
How about Spencer Taylor before we even start talking about this? 3 home runs so far this season. Been a great hitter there. He's a junior over at Granite Hills. Want to make sure I mention his name as well. Why not? Will this count as an upset? I mean, they have identical records, but strength of schedule a little bit different. Or I guess assumption going into the season a little bit different. I'm gonna go with Granite Hills here. I like Granite Hills.
Dave Ring.
Eastlake. Marcelo's going to hit another home run. He's on fire right now.
Yeah, 2 teams that I definitely expect to be in the open division. I lucked out in this one. I'm going to be at this game since I'm heading to Granite Hills football Friday. I'll just go a little early and check this one out. Really good one. I will pick Granite Hills at home.
Go Eastlake. They can't go against Marcelo Mayer. Not that anybody is left from that original batch of people watching the show, but I did make a promise once to Casey Schmidt that I would never pick against Eastlake baseball ever again. And I like to think that if nothing else, if I have no other journalistic standards, I still have my honesty and my honesty.
That was so long ago that Casey Schmidt's high school career is already over in his Major League Baseball. Or not,
his college career is over.
Yeah,
his
college career is over.
Not his one and done JC college career either. His 3 years of collegiate baseball. But hey, you know what? We're all about those weird throwbacks.
It is so cool seeing kids like that get drafted.
Dude, that's the best part.
So
I'm not going to say that's the best part of this job because I think maybe being like at a championship game is still a really cool part of this job. But a lot of this is like we're tweeting about Mickey Moniak, and that's a kid that we got to see just up close and personal and be like, damn, that kid's really good at baseball. That's really like we just get to watch this and chill. And
again, this year in the draft, there's going to be a huge combination of high school kids and college guys that maybe we forgot about, haven't seen in 2-3 years. And get their name back in.
Well, and I also would argue that, I mean, like I've said, I'm a broken record saying we're a baseball town, but it's one thing that, yeah, it's cool to watch Keenan Christian go and get a couple of good games at USC football, but he's not really a featured, like, oh my goodness, back. But we have kids, Kevin Abel, oh my gosh, like as a freshman is the World Series MVP for Oregon State. We have guys getting drafted in the first round that are going pro, like, very quickly through the ladder. We have girls like Megan Ferrimo, who's going to end up being an Olympian probably for softball and is like the number one pitcher in college already. Like, just watching the depth of this show up at so many levels where you're just like, my goodness gracious, this is amazing that on every major league roster, there is somebody that graduated from a high school in our city that we got to watch grow into that is dope. Also, because
I interrupt this to say that Manny Machado 2-run homer.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. That text you hear in the background is Coach Simon's updating us. Something about Cronenworth as well. Want to switch over to 2 basketball games because basketball has thoroughly been underappreciated this season. I will just say that I love Wayne McKinney. I'm all in on Wayne McKinney. Anybody that tries to bring anything other than that is absolutely slanderous. I will pull the receipts about the group chat. But we got a pair of basketball games that I want to get to. San Ysidro and Madison are going to be taking on one another on Monday night, this coming Monday night. Guys, San Ysidro at this point in the season is 3-3. San Ysidro, guys, the team coming off of the championship last year. They are changing ever so much in the last 5 years, but Coach Tucker has them at 3-3 right now. Madison looking solid at 4-2. Who are we taking here, Tommy?
So I messed this up, even though I should have known better because I should have been able to look at the schedule. I assumed we were doing all baseball today. So
Deal. Fair enough.
I was really confused. I was on San Ysidro's baseball side, and I'm like, why are they not playing Madison?
Well, if San Ysidro and Madison hypothetically played in baseball, who would win?
I'd pick Madison. Although
Fair
I would
enough.
say San Ysidro's baseball jerseys, I saw them yesterday. They're all like I don't know what they call the color blue they have. It's kind of UCLA blue. Kind of sick.
Yes. They're very
pants too?
Yeah, pants
Ooh,
too.
I like that.
Yeah.
Dave, you want to jump in on a hypothetical San Ysidro versus Madison baseball game?
I'm a huge Madison fan since I live right down the street. So
Fair enough. Bodie, you wanted to help me out here and actually do
I'll talk about the basketball version.
Okay,
I'm going to
killer.
go with San Ysidro. They're scoring 74 points a game. I think they're going to speed Madison up. Guys making plays early on. I like San Ysidro.
Yeah, I'm looking for some big wins out of San Ysidro. They need to get a little bit of a streak going as the season kind of enters into the mainstream of things. Our next game that we had sent out was Mira Mesa versus Carlsbad. So I guess let's hypothetically, Tommy, let's do if Mira Mesa and Carlsbad played in baseball, who would win?
Carlsbad.
Dave, if Mira Mesa and Carlsbad hypothetically played in baseball, who would win?
currently Carlsbad.
Bodie, do you want to talk about baseball or basketball?
I will talk about the basketball version.
Thank you.
I like Carlsbad in this game, 4-2 record, but I got to see them in person against San Marcos team that is top 5, if not higher, in San Diego, and they played them down to the wire. They were leading at one point there. So Mira Mesa has a 5-1 record so far, but I think Carlsbad's strength of schedule and the opponents they've played will help them. They'll get the win here.
I had this correct that this is the first season with Sam Eshelman not at the helm, in
Correct.
a while, right?
Yeah, I want to say he was there 5 years, maybe 6.
So, but through this run of success that they've had, through these
Correct.
championship appearances and wins, it has been Sam Eshelman at the helm, and 4-2 out the gate with a new head coach. I like it.
Yep.
I can't go against it, and I think that they're playing, like you said, some strong opponents up there for their losses. So I will go with Carlsbad as well. Thank you everyone for sticking around. Anything that we missed about high school sports this week? Oh, I want to give a shout out to the pole vault kid. Shoot, I
call.
don't remember his name. I'll go back to that post.
Christian Brown? Or am I making things
Garrett
up?
Brown.
Garrett Brown.
I want to give a shout out to Garrett Brown,
right.
the new section history leader on pole vault at 17 3/4
That was
feet.
incredible.
Scary.
I don't even know. How do you first start that or pick it up?
We'll have him on the show eventually. We'll get him on the show.
Also, yeah, how do you I think you got to be pretty like light and long. Is that what you want to be? Like, I don't know what
the physics of what makes little sense to me. How an athlete is able to train themselves to do that. Like that seems like you.
I would have defecated myself long before even. There's no way I would ever trust myself to poke the little stick inside the little hole. There's just no way. I would be way too scared to try that sport. So props to that guy.
That's a great way to end the show, guys.
Being honest, what?
We'll talk to you guys
Fantastic.
next week.